Alright guys, so today we're checking out the brand new Final Audio ZE8000 MK2 or MK2, and if you're somebody that follows the channel or if you're just somebody that follows audio products in general, you're probably already thinking that the first gen of these didn't come out that long ago. In fact, the first gen came out in 2023, so it seems as though they pretty much just wasted no time at all to come out with the second gen or second version of the ZE8000. And I am a huge fan of the first gen model. It was something that had a very unique look. It seemed to take a different approach at true wireless earbuds. And so we're going to talk about some of the differences. We're going to talk about what this pair has, what all comes inside the box, and see if it's worth upgrading from the first gen. Now, the first thing that I want to point out is the price. And I think initially this is going to scare a lot of people off because this is definitely out of the price range of normal true wireless earbuds. These come in retailing at $399, which is the price of the original. It's not something that's completely going to surprise people if you were already interested in the first gen. But just by looking at them though, there's not much of a design difference of the new ones over the first gen. In fact, the only difference that I can see is the two stripes that it adds on the case and also on the earbuds. It still has that same kind of matte finish that has a speckled design to it, which gives these a pretty nice grip. Now that's on the case and the earbuds. The earbuds definitely stand out because they have this really long looking stem with the earbud being placed like right in the middle of the stem. But these have changed a little bit when it comes to comfort. It seems as though the ear tips that they're using, where the first gen had a black silicone ear tip, this one is using a clear, but it also seems to have a little bit of an indentation or something that is helping grip these into your ear a little bit better. I noticed that the comfort on these was extremely comfortable. The earbuds themselves are using touch controls, and I am happy to say that they give you control over everything out of the box. And so you don't have to go into an app, although these do work with Final's app. You don't have to go in there to switch around controls or sacrifice controls to actually control everything. Now, also within the app, this is how you keep these updated. This is where you have EQ controls. It's also where you can go in and have this volume optimizer. If you kind of want to limit it at a certain area, you can. This is where you also initiate the 8K sound, which in my opinion is the huge selling point on this pair. And we'll talk about that once we get into the sound. And then outside of that, that's pretty much it. Now you can go in and mess around with the active noise canceling options. It's not just noise canceling on or noise canceling off. You have 4 different modes here. You have the ability to have the noise canceling on. You have a wind cut feature, so if you're going to be outdoors and you need it to kind of cut down on wind affecting your sound, you can. There is a voice through mode if you want to talk to somebody, basically carry on a conversation without taking these out, you can. And there's just an ambient mode, just an ability to hear your surroundings, like if you're going to be outdoors and running or riding a bike, you just need to be aware of your surroundings. This is the mode that you would use. And the noise canceling is just okay. It's not comparable to Sony or Bose, which in this case is actually cheaper than the ZE8000. I would just say it's okay. It does a good job against engine noises and AC units, anything that kind of has that lower rumble to it. But you know, if people are talking, you're going to hear that the same as you would any kind of earbuds. It just doesn't really do anything to block that out. Now the ambient mode and the voice through mode I felt like worked extremely well. I felt like things sounded pretty natural. It didn't have that overly digital sound to it. So, you know, this is a great pair if you're needing to be very aware of your environment, but it's not a top tier pair when it comes to noise canceling. Now, some other features on here is it does have Bluetooth 5.2, so it doesn't even have the latest Bluetooth technology, but it does support Snapdragon sound. It does have aptX adaptive playback. You also have multi-point connection, so you can connect to more than one device at a time. And it does have a slight water protection. It does come in at IPX4. This is basically fine against rain and splashes and sweat and stuff like that. It's just not something you would want to submerge into water. Now, when it comes to the battery life on these, this is another area that is just simply not impressive. The max that you're going to get on the earbuds on a full charge is only 5 hours. And with the charging case, you're only going to get about 20 hours. And that alone, we have seen much better on pretty much every modern pair of earbuds that are out there. It's not battery life that's going to last you throughout the day. I mean, you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to put it in the case at some point to fully charge them just to be able to get through a full 8-hour workday. And if you happen to pick them up and they are dead, there is a somewhat fast charge feature. It's not one of those where like a 5-minute charge is going to get you 2 to 3 hours. Here, you're going to get 45 minutes on a 5-minute charge. So it's nice that there's some fast charge here, but it's just not some of the best that we've seen. And now, as far as what all you're getting inside the box, it does come with 5 sets of those silicone ear tips. It also comes with dust filters, which you can switch out. And this is just going to make sure that you're getting the best sound quality. It's not having earwax and dust and things like that kind of clog up and affect your audio quality. Just over time, you would switch these out. It's very simple to do. And again, this is just making sure that you're not going to just lose sound quality over time. And then it also includes a USB-C cable, and you are going to need to use this to charge the case because these do not support wireless charging. And I think if you're a normal consumer and you're already looking at these and you're thinking, well, the noise canceling isn't as good as the $300 or $250 pair like Sony and Bose, and it doesn't have Qi wireless charging like a lot of other earbuds out there, this definitely isn't going to just grab people based off features. And this is the thing that I want to say about these. This is a company that focuses on audio quality. That is what these earbuds are focused on. That is their main selling point. That is going to be the thing that they spent the most time on. And I think it's obvious while using these. But before we get into the sound, I do want to stop right here to go ahead and do a mic test. Because if you're going to use these for taking phone calls, I think they do a pretty decent job of picking up my voice. I also feel like they do a decent job of blocking out some of the sounds around me. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here's the mic test of the final ZE8000. And like I said, I think it does a pretty decent job of picking up my voice. It does sound a little bit digital, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound. And the first thing that I want to point out is the comparison between these and the first gen. This is a louder pair, it is a wider sounding pair, and to me it seems a little bit more aggressive. I feel like they went in and bumped up the low end, they bumped up the treble. I feel like the mids are a little bit more forward, and it just seems like it's kind of strange to explain this, that it's more of an in-your-face sound, but more space and more separated when it comes to the soundstage and the sound imaging. It's like they took that 8K feature that they're pushing and they focused on expanding that a little bit more. They wanted to make sure that you're not losing out on details and you're not sacrificing low end because these just don't hold back when it comes to that. This isn't a very aggressive pair when it comes to bass. In fact, at times, it even has that subwoofer type bass, which means it does a good job with mid bass, sub bass. It's a very refined sound. It's not just, here's a generic sound signature, here's something we threw together, just go out and enjoy it. It is something you can tell that there's some time put into. Same thing with the mids when it comes to acoustic instruments and male and female vocalists. It's all represented extremely well. It never kind of gets lost in the mix. It never has that aggressive bass just kind of tone it down. It just seems like they're bringing out a lot of details. And same thing with the treble. Without being overly bright or harsh, there's a lot of details in this pair. I would say that the bass kind of causes these to have a slightly warmer tone to it, and I think that's what kind of tones down the treble just a little bit. But it fits extremely well. It has a really natural approach to it. So again, like I mentioned earlier, the sound stage and the sound imaging, this is a very open sounding earbud. In fact, it could be one of the most open sounding earbuds that I've tested, and it just does a really good job of being able to tell where different instruments and vocalists and different sounds are coming from. So my overall opinion is this. I think if you have the first gen of these, I don't feel like there's enough to go out and buy another $400 pair of earbuds. But if you don't have the first gen and you're somebody that just heavily focuses on sound and not necessarily on features, that's where this pair stands out. This pair, I feel like, is made for someone, or made for a demographic that is just so into sound quality that they don't want to sacrifice a lot coming from like IEMs to true wireless earbuds. They want to be able to have that similar experience with a pair of earbuds, and it's okay that they don't have the best noise canceling or the best battery life, and they don't have Qi wireless charging. I mean, let's be real, you are definitely sacrificing features if you're going with this pair, and I don't feel like, you know, it's a standout pair, you know, if you're looking at it that way. But I think, again, if you're looking at sound quality, this is one of the few that is comparable with IEMs. It's comparable, you know, with having that really nice pair that you're going to plug into an amp. And it's just all in this little tiny portable package. So it's really just going to come down to what it is you're looking for and what it is you need in a pair of earbuds. But guys, that wraps up my video on the brand new Final Audio ZE8000 MK2 or Mark II. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.